Welcome everyone to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name and they don't ask us what movies we're seeing, they ask us how many. Now, today we actually have Merrick joining us for all 5 movies today. That's right, 5 movies. It's one of the big ones going on here.
Hello, Mo.
Uh,
Hello.
welcome, Mo. This is the one where you have seen the most amount of movies in a row with us.
Yeah.
You've never been for a
Correct.
fiver with us before, so that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
S
I've
so
done 4, but not 5 yet.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Never on the channel.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, so moving into what we have on the docket today, we are starting off with the new Ryan Gosling movie, The Fall Guy, and then quickly moving on to Tarot, following up with Unsung Hero, the true story about the Smallbone family and Rebecca St. James. And then we will be moving into repeat showings where they brought back Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and they brought back the Amazing Spiderman, the Andrew Garfield one. So a pretty big list today.
Yeah.
I'm
It's been a
excited. How about
while.
you guys?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, let's get rolling straight into The Fall Guy.
Absolutely. So, after leaving the business 1 year earlier, battle-scarred stuntman Colt Seavers springs back into action when the star of a big studio movie suddenly disappears. As the mystery surrounding the missing actor deepens, Colt soon finds himself ensnared in a sinister plot that pushes him to the edge of a fall more dangerous than any stunt. That is a hell of a descriptor for this movie.
Yeah, and that fall would then thusly make him the Fall Guy.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that's a hell of a descriptor for this movie. Probably one of the better ones we've had on this channel, not gonna lie.
It's true.
But
It sums it up pretty well.
right off of the bat, I'm just gonna say, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I really
Mhm.
did. I
Uh
I love it's never really been done to make a movie about the stunt people behind all these movies that we love so much, like all these action movies that we love so much and everything.
yeah, they don't get a whole lot of light shed on their side of the
They
movie production thing.
they
Like they
even
even
make
made
the
a
joke.
joke in the movie,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They even made the joke
where
about like, do they get an Oscar for stunt work? And it's like, no, no, they don't.
no, they don't. And like it's in like a lot of movies, like horror movies especially. There's a lot of stunts and stuff. Action movies, like clearly, obviously, but like it's in a lot of movies, like regardless of genre. So I kind of feel like it's it should be it's a very like serious part. Like I
It's the backbone
saw
of a lot of these movies.
Yeah, especially action. I saw come across my YouTube dashboard a movie with the title "Why the Fall Guy is an Important Movie," and I
Yes.
know why. 2 reasons. A
Mhm.
is because of this, because it shows you the stunt side of movies and how prominent that is, how important that is, and the work and
Mhm.
effort that goes into doing that. And B, they broke a world record for real making this
They
movie.
did.
Mhm.
They
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 can't
they 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 broke a stunt record for this movie. It was
well,
wild.
not just a stunt record, like a world record for for the amount of times that a car rolls over like that. The old record was 7, and in this movie they got 8.5. They even bring that up in the movie, like we got eight and a
Yeah,
half rolls. That's a new world record, and that's true.
that is true. That's really cool that they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that said it was 007.
Well, so that makes sense. That makes sense. And I got beat up by the Fall Guy. I mean, that's just a cool thing. It's cool when movies have world records like that, like Star Wars Episode 3 as the world record for longest sword fight in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually really cool because I've been looking into some stuff, like some like interviews with like directors and stuff of this movie, and one of the ones I saw was that because our boy Aaron Taylor Johnson's in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
they were talking about how even though he didn't do a whole lot, like he the director said he would love to do an action movie like with him as the star.
You
Like
mean
if
like
Craven
Craven?
does if Craven does well, like I could see him
It
doing a
won't.
lot more action stuff.
It
It won't, I
won't.
know.
But
But
he's
I
been
want
in
him to
Bullet
do more action.
Train. He's been in
Yeah,
Kick-Ass.
yes.
He's been
Yes.
doing action stuff like his whole life, but bro, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Aaron Taylor Johnson is the protagonist in an action movie? You mean Kick-Ass?
There. The main thing that David
True.
Leitch is saying though is that he would be an amazing James Bond, is what he's saying.
Oh, okay. I'd
And
probably
if he shaved the beard, maybe. But
Oh yeah,
anyway, we're
no.
getting away from the movie itself. The movie
Yeah.
I I'm a huge fan of stunts. I mean, we're big fans of Brendan Fraser on this channel, and that man did like almost all of his own stunts back when in his heyday. And like
Mhm.
I've been
And
in love with
fun
stunt
fact,
work ever since.
Isaac. Fun fact, in the new
God
recent
damn it.
Mission
Damn it.
Impossible movie, did you know Tom Cruise, he actually did drive that motorcycle off the cliff and jump off there? Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard that somewhere once. Yeah. The fact that this is basically a movie about a movie being made, and like I'm really happy that I'm impressed by the fact that they didn't get insanely meta with it. Like they kept it
Yes.
more about the stunts, and that was really great because
Yeah.
they could have gone balls to the wall meta with this movie. They really could have.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept it
Mhm.
like its own
It is
story
a
like
little
that, and they
meta, but it's
didn't.
like tastefully meta.
Right. Well, I mean, it would be more like inside jokes within like the stunt community, like that thing where he said, "Do you get Oscars for stunts?" And they're like, and he's like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
But it's
Or
not.
like
It's
the
not
moment
just
where
like.
they're.
It's
I'm
not
more
just
talking
like
about. Go ahead.
meta humor. You're right.
Yeah. I'm more talking about like there's that scene where they're like where as they say they're chopping it up, like trying to hash out like problems with the script of the movie that they're making in the movie, and like they're talking about like oh maybe
Oh
we should do
yeah.
split screen. You think split screen? Like they could have done so much more of that, but the fact that they only really did that once and like stuff like that, like it was so well done. And like
Speaking of, yeah, you're right. It is that was pretty good. I like the split screen though.
I liked it. It was really good. I loved
Mhm.
it.
It
I
looked like
loved
they
that
were
whole scene.
actually talking to each other.
It was a fun scene.
But as you were saying about like chopping it up, while
Mhm.
we're on that topic, I did notice that they chopped this movie up quite a bit because a lot of lines and scenes from the trailer are not in this movie.
How so? I didn't see very many.
The bit where he's in the car and then he makes the joke about he's like, "Do you want to make out?" And she's like, "No," and he's like, "Yeah, me neither." He's like, "Not what I'm into right now," and she's like, "Oh yeah, what are you into?" He's like, talking and doing that. Like, I thought that was
Okay, yeah.
like funny.
I think that was
Like,
Mhm.
more of like an ad lib thing that Ryan probably did.
regardless, they put that in the
Yeah,
trailer and it wasn't in the movie, and I
fair.
Yeah.
don't believe the bit when they're doing the split screen. and they're talking about twists, and he says, "Who doesn't love a good twist?" I don't believe that was in the movie.
It
It might
wasn't.
have
I
been
was
when I
waiting
went to go
for
pee. Okay.
I was waiting for him to say, "Who doesn't love a twist?" Like I was waiting for it, and he never said it because it would have been in that scene in the hotel.
Yeah. I can't
The
list off
twist
like
was
I
he
mean
didn't
there's
say it.
that's true.
Yeah.
There's two examples. There was definitely at the very least three that I noticed. I can't remember all of them, but
Yeah.
it was quite a bit that they did that. I mean, it's still enjoyable, and I really like this movie, anyways.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
like I don't have a whole lot negative to say about this movie. I really don't. Like all the
Yeah,
stunts
I
looked
mean,
amazing, and like you could tell they didn't like virtually do a whole lot, which is I know that that's the point is that they're shining a light on the stunt community, so they would make a lot of stunts. But like even with some of the stunts, this was massively impressive for a lot of those.
it's true. I mean, did you see the list of
Oh
stunt
my
workers
god.
in the credits? It
Mhm.
went on forever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I also
We
liked
got like all of them.
yeah, I also really liked the actual mystery aspect of this movie was done very well.
Yeah.
Like
I
it
mean,
was I was actually left guessing until like the last bit, to be honest.
yeah. We went to go see. I forget which one it was. It might have been. I completely forget, but there was like two like really annoying people like right behind us during a movie, and they were like chit chatting about every single trailer that came across the screen. And when it got
Mhm.
to the fall guy, they were like, "Oh, let me guess." It's like, I can already tell you exactly what's gonna happen in that movie. It's gonna be the twist, and then the director, is gonna be the one who killed him. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't even make sense, even from
Yeah,
just what we know in the trailer. And
exactly.
I'm so happy that those annoying people took the L, and that's not even close to what happens in the movie.
Oh, exactly. Like
Mhm.
that was so stupid. But what was the other thing that I wanted to bring up? Words thinking can't.
Well, we'll come back to you.
Yeah, yeah. Mo, do you got something?
Um, I mean, not really. I liked the action.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
action
I think
was
like yeah, from a movie that's very like stunts oriented, they choreographed all of the action very, very well.
yeah,
The I remember the one thing I wanted to bring up. The one stunt that looked like one of the gnarliest ones, even though it probably wasn't, but it looked so well done. And that's the moment where he falls from the helicopter. Like that man is
mm,
literally falling, free
Mhm.
falling through the air. Like I
Yeah, onto
like
a big crash pad thing.
well, yes, but
That was
still,
pretty
that's
cool.
like that was a really cool scene. Like, it really was because I was sitting here going like while watching the trailers, I'm like, how the fuck is he gonna get out of that one? Like, and also like all the characters in this movie were so well written. Like you liked the characters you were
Yeah,
supposed to, and you hated the ones that you were supposed to. And
dude,
like
I
it was
like the character you were like supposed to hate the absolute most, like the
yeah,
mastermind behind the whole thing.
yeah,
I wanted him to get like fucking socked in the face just a
yeah,
little bit, you know. They could caught a stray from Ryan Gosling. He could have just,
mhm.
you know,
yeah.
done one in. But you know, they didn't. Little disappointing there. I would have. But yeah, so I mean, you know, if you put Ryan Gosling in a cool jacket and
I want that Miami Vice jacket.
he does stunt driving for movies, uh you know,
He
two for
drives.
two. Two for two. They that formula works.
Oh yeah, like it's crazy how like when I was younger and like even when I was a teenager, like Ryan Gosling was always like the Hollywood hot guy, you know? And
And now
like
he's like just doing cool shit.
Yeah, like I like that. I like
Mhm.
this. Like same thing with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was always one of those dudes where I'm just like, I hear people, you know, oh my gosh, it's Brad Pitt, and it's like whatever. It's Brad Pitt. Like, and now I'm like, ooh, Brad Pitt's in this. That's gonna be
Ooh,
fun.
Brad Pitt from Cool World. I think he would shoot me if I said that anywhere near him
He
in his
probably would.
earshot. He would
He
fucking
probably
shoot
would.
me, I guarantee it.
All right. Do we want to move? Anyone have anything else to say before we move on to
Um,
rankings?
yeah, no, I just think this is a super cool movie. I think it's best.
Solid movie.
Yeah, it's a solid movie. I think it's best enjoyed if you just go see it for
Yeah.
yourself rather
Yeah.
than. I mean, not. I mean, really a whole lot to talk about. It's really just like a sit back and enjoy kind of thing. There's not a whole lot necessarily to dissect about it. It's
There was
just a
very
big
few jokes that
Mhm.
didn't land in this movie. Like
right.
very, very
Yeah,
few.
it was funny.
Yeah, it's just like a big love letter to this stunts community, and just gotta enjoy that for what that is.
Yeah, it's so good.
Mhm.
But moving on to rankings. Kellen, you want to start us off?
I'm just gonna give this the big seal of approval with a big fat 8. Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
fair enough.
Like I said,
Uh,
great movie, stunts, great movie, great jokes, great. I
writing,
approve.
great.
It's true.
Uh, I'm right there with you. I'm putting a big, solid, bold, italics 8 on this.
Nice.
Like it's good. It's a good movie.
Mo,
Yeah. I'm gonna also give it an 8.
eight's
Yeah,
all around.
it's a solid
Yeah.
movie. It really, really is.
Yeah.
I
Probably
don't really
one.
have much to say
Yeah,
about it.
probably one that I'm gonna have to buy though. It's just a good time.
I'm really hoping that this causes things to change. Like, it would be so cool if
Like
this
they're gonna
movie
petition to actually start doing Oscars for
stunts,
stunts.
yeah, like for stunt work in movies, like that would be so cool for this movie to make that
Dude, that would
happen.
be a
Like, it'll be
third.
the
That would
first
be a
one to own it.
third reason for this movie to be
Really important.
like really important. A, world record. B, shines light on stunt community, and possible C, get the Oscars to make a stunts category. It wouldn't be that hard.
It wouldn't. It's like super good. I think the only problem with it is that inherently you're not supposed to notice it. That's the thing. Like, you're
And
not supposed to notice stunts.
they're fucking on screen. I
Yeah.
see them. Moving on to Tarot.
Uh so friends unwittingly unleash an unspeakable evil trapped within a cursed deck of tarot cards. One by one they come face to face with fate, racing against death to escape the future foretold in their readings. Now that, man, another case of, man, if only they made that movie that they described.
Isaac, they did.
I know they did, but it makes it sound so much better here.
Oh, it doesn't. It sounds exactly the same as what was on screen, and it sounds equally as shitty.
Fair.
Guess what,
Now,
guys? This movie fucking sucked.
so to preface this, the main reason why we were going to go see this is we were hoping that like the creature design
No,
in
okay,
the
so
movie.
here.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
So we were hoping for a Thanksgiving, is what we were going
Yes.
for. Where the premise, not that great, not terribly original, but the kills were cool, the character design cool, props were cool, special effects looked good. We were there for the kills basically to see what they would do, and for the
Yeah.
monsters to see what they would do. Like you really don't need any special context or story setup to see why the fat bitch got bisected by a dumpster. We just want to see that. That's the point
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
We're here for the kills.
And
And they disappointed on both accounts, and the premise stunk. So all three ways were L's. We were hoping, like, we
freaking
knew the premise stunk because the premise was fucking tarot cards and astrology, which it was fake and stupid, and everyone
I
knows
didn't even
that.
know the astrology aspect watching the trailer. I only knew about like the.
Was
I just
there
thought it
one?
was just. It wasn't. No, I'm pretty sure they just in the trailer it was just talking about
That
tarot,
was
and then the movie
rhetorical.
started. Oh well, but like, and
I'm
then the movie
saying
started,
was
and they
there
started.
one because it didn't really do anything in the whole movie with that. It was like nothing.
It just caused them to say really stupid and cringe lines.
Yes, oh my god, the dialogue in this movie is
It's a dumpster
fucking
fire.
atrocious. Fucking
Yeah.
atrocious. And one of the things that I found most unbelievable about this movie, like not even like, oh, I don't believe that, like is it like the movie's not believable? Just like I don't believe that I can't believe that they made a movie without this.
Yeah.
Like literally they didn't have any doubting characters. Like they start pulling
There
out
was
the
Yeah.
tarot cards and the astrology stuff and whatever, and then every single one of them in the friend group is immediately on board and they're believing it. Like you have this whole like really out there premise, like, oh, the tarot cards are cursed and they're coming alive and killing people. Every other horror movie where it's like it's coming after you next or something like that,
Yeah.
like you have at least at the very very minimum one character who's like, nah, this is a bunch of bullshit, that's not even true. And
There was only
especially with
one
a
character
topic.
that was anywhere near
Oh,
that.
hang on, hang on, hang
Oh,
on,
go ahead.
hang on.
Go ahead.
So what I'm talking about is it's not about like, oh, the ghosts and stuff is shit. Nobody calls out tarot or astrology at all. Like they're all 100% on board believing in all the, star signs and whatever. And I'm like, really? Out of all these people, none of them think that's nonsense? They're all in on it. They're not just like, oh yeah, fine, read my thing, see whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally
It-
just paper with paint on it. Who cares? Just it's gonna be
Yeah.
nonsense. Nobody's like trying to go against that aspect of it. Like what
Yeah.
you were gonna bring up, Isaac, is that like Ned Leeds, the CEO of Sex, as he's known as, is in this movie, and that's the only one anyone ever knows because no one knows anything about any of the other characters in this movie or the
Yeah.
actors in this movie. In the middle of the movie, he's just like, "No, fuck this shit, I'm going home." And that's
That actually
because
wasn't what I
he
was gonna
sees
bring
he
up.
sees. Well, if that's not the one you were bringing up, what are you talking about? Because there's no one else who goes against any of this at all.
The only one that comes anywhere near close to that was Grant, the black guy.
When?
Because and like
First of
he
all, who?
the main
Second of
chick's
all, how did you
boyfriend, who's
know
not
his
really his
name?
boyfriend. Because I have the Wikipedia page pulled up. I have the thing pulled
I
up still.
suppose. Okay, so what do you mean?
Like, okay, so like when they first brought all this stuff out, like he was hesitant. He was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But like, it wasn't as a thing of that. It was just that it was his girlfriend doing the readings, his ex-girlfriend doing the readings.
Yes,
And then the
yeah,
only other
that
part of
was
the
it.
movie,
He's just
the only other part of the movie where he was like, "Nah, this is stupid," is when they all start saying like, "Oh my God, the thing's coming true." He said he'd end up on the wrong track, and he died on a train track. And like they're doing
okay.
all that,
Okay,
and
right,
he's
right,
sitting
right,
there, and
right.
he's sitting there going like, "Nah, that you're all insane. Like, there's no way
Right, so
this is."
that's my
He's not
point.
calling
That's
out
my
the
point.
astrology.
They have people calling out like, "Oh, what the cards are attacking us." Like that's
Yeah,
nonsense. They have that. They have people not believing in that, but they don't have anyone not believing in like the card reading,
The movie took the
the
astrology
initial
and
card reading.
yeah, they took the
Like
tarot and
everyone's
cards and
on
everything.
board of everyone is on board with the cards like right away. And
Yeah.
like it doesn't I don't believe that you don't have anyone who would just shrug it off
They
like, oh, it's a
found them
bunch
in a
of hooey. I
creepy
don't
room in
believe
the
in that.
basement. And they
Okay,
have like
okay,
blood and shit all
okay.
over
Since
them.
we're moving straight into that,
Well,
I want to
they
bring up something concerning I noticed.
Okay.
Do you remember how they found the cards in the first place?
They broke into the one room in the house that was like do not open, and they were like because they were looking for booze
Yes,
because they ran
yes,
out.
they ran out of beer. So immediately what they do is they find a room that says private. They're in an Airbnb, by the way. It's like this is
Yeah.
not their house. They're renting it
yeah, an
for the weekend.
Airbnb in the middle of the woods or something.
Yeah, it's a big
they
house
they,
in the
they rented
like
a
in the middle
cabin
of
in the
nowhere.
woods, a quote unquote cabin in the woods. And what they do, they ran out of beer, and then they're just like, literally, one of the characters says, "I'll go drive into town," and then another character says, "Nah, they gotta have some here," and then they find a room that says "private keep out" and it's locked, and they fucking kick the door open and like
Yeah.
break it off its hinges, off the lock and shit like that to go find beer. They need to be in AA if it's that bad, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? You you bust down the door on someone else's property because of the off chance that there might be alcohol behind that door?
Yeah,
You
like
got
it's
problems.
ridiculous.
Worse than the cards.
And also, you know what's even crazier is like not only do they not call out the whole like tarot thing, like throughout the movie, the main character is talking
Yeah.
about how like as the movie goes on, you realize, oh no, like she's really into this tarot thing. Like she got really into it because her
Yeah.
mom,
Oh no.
because of her mom, and all this shit and all that. And she, if you were that into tarot and you know that much about tarot and you are this experienced in doing tarot things, she literally brings up there's an unspoken rule to not use someone else's deck.
No, but Isaac,
I've met
Isaac,
people who
don't you
are into
know? Isaac, you're missing a crucial piece of information. It was that one girl's birthday, so all the rules are out of the table, you know.
that was the stupidest fucking thing. But I'm sitting
Everything's
here and I'm like,
everything
no person who's
is
actually
open.
into tarot. Not
No
that I
off
am.
limit.
I've
Yeah.
known people that are into tarot. They are the most superstitious
I'm
motherfuckers to ever
sorry.
exist. So like there's no way that she would actually use that deck. Like that's the stupidest thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they I can guarantee you there are people that are into this shit that are watching this movie and being like, that's so fucking stupid. Like
Right, but again, it was her birthday.
she brought that up no less than like
Nothing,
7 times over the course of
nothing's off
10
the table.
minutes.
Yeah, because they're also hesitant to just break into this fucking house or break down the door, use the cards, and do all this, and then she just keeps going. It's my birthday, but it's my birthday. I think I said it's my birthday, so whatever. Fucking stupid. I would say I hate all the characters, but I don't even know what any of them are.
So let's move on
Were
to
there
some of the
characters in
stupider
this
things.
movie?
I don't know. That one dude was found unresponsive.
Oh yeah, Merrick, tell him about that. Tell him
Yeah,
about
Mo.
that. We
Uh,
died laughing at this scene because it's so ridiculously stupid.
all right. So after like they do their readings, uh, the the stuff card starts like to kill them or whatever, and the guy, his readings was like, don't let the whatever lead you
The
down the
hermit.
wrong track, and he goes down
Yeah,
to
the
like a
hermit.
subway. Yeah, hermit. He goes down the subway, and he's walking through the tunnel or whatever, and he like steps on a newspaper, and it's a picture of him on the front page, and the headline is "You die today," and we just lost it.
Yeah, it's so
That is
stupid.
that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a horror movie.
Oh, but
Oh
wait,
my
it
god,
gets worse.
it
It
gets
gets worse. It gets
worse.
worse because he goes on one of the trains or something, and the monster's coming after him. Uh, and the way he dies, the way the monster kills him, is he like jumps out at him and scares him, and he like jumps like 5 feet back onto the train tracks and gets hit by a train.
He jumps like 5 feet back out the door and directly
Yeah,
into the train. The train was completely silent, by the way, like,
Yeah.
made no
yeah.
noise up until it was, like, splattering him against the windshield. And
Yeah.
then what do they fucking say when the police find his body or what's left of it?
These they found a unresponsive guy.
An unresponsive man by
An
the
Yeah, an
by
unresponsive
the
unresponsive man.
puddle. He
yeah,
was
like
smashed by a train. There shouldn't
we
be any
saw the blood
man left.
spatter. Like there was instant
Yeah,
blood spatter. Like
He was liquefied.
it wasn't even like he fell onto the tracks and got ran over by the train. He jumped out and as like literally
Bro
he
leaped,
jumped
and
midair
as
got
soon
hit
as
in
he
into the
was
front of
out
him.
the
train.
door,
Yeah.
as soon as he was out the door, he got fucking splattered.
It's
And then,
ridiculous. I do have to
and
say
then,
though, out of all of the monster designs, I liked the Hermit the best. I actually really
how
liked the
can you
Hermit.
even say that? You didn't get to see any of the designs.
Well, I know, but I liked that's
What, a
why.
guy in
It's
a
cuz
hood?
no, it's cuz it's the lantern thing. I really liked
Oh, he's
that.
holding a
I just
lantern. That makes it
Hey,
A tier design,
I
character
know that
design.
you
He's
guys
holding
have
a lantern.
Hey, I know that you guys have a lot to shit on about this movie, but I have to say I did like the Hermit. Like I liked the way that he did cuz it wasn't like all the
He didn't
other
do
ones.
anything. That's what
But
I'm
that's the
saying. I mean,
point.
you're free to
That's the
like that. I'm
point.
just saying there was nothing.
But that's the point is that he was the only one that didn't like because in the premise of what they were doing, and they were like,
I
"Oh, like all the other ones straight up murder them, like they just kill them." But like he's the only one because his reading was like, "Just don't let it lead you down the wrong track," which is admittedly stupid and really, really obvious and all that shit. Like that, it did what it was. It did what it said it was. It's just it led him to the wrong spot. Like he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It led him there. And like it didn't actually kill him. He made all the decisions to get there. It just scared him into the spot to kill him, and that was it. And I kind of like that. The rest of this movie is ass, but I really, really,
all
I
right.
did like that.
You know what? I usually respect your opinion. So this is the one time I'm ever gonna do that. I forbid you from liking that aspect.
Why?
I'm trying to help you here. It's bad, dude.
I don't know.
He did a
I
jump
like.
scare. It was not a jump scare, okay? There was no noise.
No.
He just went like, "Ugh," and then the
Okay.
guy went, and then he
What I'm
jumped
more
out the
liking
window and died.
what I'm more liking is I'm liking the parts where like he's in the dark and then he like pulls the lantern out and he's holding the lantern. Like I don't know. I just like that aesthetic. It's kind of cool. I liked it.
So
It is
now that we're
stupid, but
on
I get
this,
it.
okay, first of all, before we get off that topic, because I'm about to turn away from this, when they're talking about like, well, no, these go hand in hand. So I'll
Yeah.
circle back to this dead train guy again.
Yeah.
But they're doing an aspect of horror movies that I actually like, and it's where Ti I like it when they do it well, okay? Like Final
Yes.
Destination. We'll start with that.
Yes.
They it's like a premonition of like death.
You're
So
fighting
then
fate.
it's like, oh, everything will come back and fall into place just as it said. Or as my favorite rendition of this is this trope and then there were none by Agatha
Yeah.
Christie, where they have this poem that lists out literally death by death by death how it's going to happen, and then it's all going to connect to each one insequentially. And they were kind of doing that with the cards. It was like, oh, the hermit's going to leave you down the wrong path in this, and then it's like, oh, you will find a ladder, but then the high priestess will leave you flat or something stupid like that. But it
Deliver
didn't
the
it didn't
fatal
like
blow.
No,
yeah,
no,
well,
it was
deliver the
it was
fatal blow. So
no, it
they
said
were
from what
trying
I
to do
remember.
something. I'm talking.
Go ahead.
They were trying to do something like that where they set up all the deaths ahead of time, and then as the deaths played out, you were supposed to connect it back to what happened earlier, and you're like, oh, they were right. But the thing is, all the other times they do that, it's clever, and you're left thinking to yourself about that. But in this movie, you immediately tune out all the fucking like tarot and astrology readings that they do in the beginning, so that
Yeah.
they're like, he said that you gotta look out for the fool because the fool will make a fool out of you. Remember when I said that? And I'm like, no, I don't remember when you said that,
Yeah,
because
that's why
you
they
sat in
play
a
the
room.
readings again while the kills are
They
happening.
do. They do. Yes, they literally that's a great point, Merrick. I didn't even think about that. Is that they have to like replay like the voiceovers, like flashback voiceovers like during the kills, because no one's going to remember anything that they happened. And bringing that back to the train guy, because they said the fucking whatever, literally the fucking dumbest line. They're going too hard trying to connect all this, because it's not just like, oh, the card and then the card kills you, but they're trying to tie in absolutely everything about it. Cause like when they find the train kid dead, the main girl literally goes like, it's all connected, it's the cars, he was an earth sign and they found him in the dirt. I'm like, what the fuck? That, he was a earth sign and
Yeah.
they found him in the dirt.
And then
Yeah.
there's other things that are so stupid with this too. Like
Steve!
my other one that made me that I went what the fuck was that uh freaking the CEO of Sex himself.
Yeah.
The only reason he survived is solely because his roommate opened the elevator door before he could die.
Which is completely stupid again. Okay, so like you're saying, at the end of the movie, like they're after they kill the fucking bitch somehow, which again doesn't make sense. We'll come back to that later. But at the end of the movie, Ned Leeds, CEO of Sex, he like he's in this car pulling up, and they think, oh, it's something else. But then he comes out, and it's like, oh, it's me. Remember, my thing said that I'll show up for my friends unexpectedly, and I'm like, yeah, unexpected, because you were supposed to be fucking dead. But the thing is, like, it doesn't make any sense, because like when he got attacked in the elevator was like hours between that and when he picked them up off of the side of the road. So like what, his roommate opened the elevator and that spooked his card away forever? He didn't just
Yeah,
like come back later. He was alone in a car for hours driving back
yeah.
out there.
An enclosed space, one would even say.
Like, literally,
True.
literally. But
Yeah.
the fool, like you could tell that they
He
were
is a
trying
fool,
to do
alright.
something cool, because like I mean, he was standing in the distance and then like he bends over and then he like bends way too far and he starts curling back up the other way. Like I feel like there's a
Yeah.
breadcrumb of something, like they were trying to do something cool and they almost had it. But everything else that they put in on top of it just still made
So
it not
that
great.
so that one
Mhm.
where he curled around and he curled back up, that's just solely because that was the position of the fool on the card. That was
No,
it.
I'm saying like when they did that like on screen,
Yeah.
like it looked kind of cool, but
Yeah,
like
it
it
was
didn't
just
do anything. And then he just fucked her off forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just that this movie tried to take itself seriously, but also, I mean, the thing of the movie is it's also only how long? An hour and a half. Yeah, it was an hour and a half, and they just
It
tried to
felt
cram
way
so much
longer.
shit. They tried to cram
It
It did.
so
felt
much stuff.
way
Like
longer. Yeah.
they also did another aspect that I I liked in certain movies and I hated in others. Uh, they did the thing where they find a person who either knows about this or
Oh
whatever
my god, they
and
do that in
everything.
every movie.
Yes,
Every
but
horror
like
movie.
sometimes it's okay. So like they didn't do it. They did it in a way where she literally exposition dumped and then died like 2 scenes later.
It was the worst one possible. I thought the one in Night Swim was fucking shit. I thought the one in
Yeah,
Imaginary was fucking shit. But
Yeah.
this one, oh my god. They take a whole day to go drive out to her house. And then she says, "Oh, guess what? The cards are cursed." And I'm like, we knew that,
yeah, and
first
then
of all. And they're just like, but there was this lady who cursed the cards. I'm like, okay. And
yeah,
and then they like their grand plan at the end is that they're gonna like summon the lady who cursed the card, and then they're gonna do her tarot reading to make her die, which doesn't make any sense because the only reason that anyone's dying from the tarot card readings is because she's the curse is her. I don't know why.
you
I
know,
don't know
Yeah.
why she would kill
I
herself.
I love that there was literally my favorite thing about this movie is that
It's
you can
ended.
tell you can tell that no one wanted to be in this movie because no one in
Oh
this
my god,
movie is
no.
recognizable at all. No one in this movie was in anything else.
CEO of sex. That's it. I guarantee you. I guarantee
Yeah.
you. He alone, being this and in this movie, drove ticket sales up by like 20% at the very least. If he
I
Yes.
wasn't
don't
in this,
even
it
know
would be
his
like a
real name.
20% drop. CEO of sex. He had it legally changed actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like,
Ugh.
so they try to do this thing where they're like, oh, all the deaths are matching up to like the readings. But then once they get to the end, they don't even adhere to that anymore because Grant, her boyfriend, Isaac, his thing
Right.
was like, you will have to make a sacrifice for the ones that you love. And I'm literally like, oh, like super obvious. Like it's gonna be the monster's gonna be after her, and then he's gonna step in and he's gonna either die or get injured or something. And then that
Mhm.
doesn't happen. That doesn't
Yep.
happen. So like all the shit you don't care about, like the throwaway characters, they get killed exactly according to the plan. But then the only one that you're like from the beginning, you're like, okay, so like these two are gonna be the last two left, which they were. And then you're like, okay, I can immediately see where this is going to go. It's super predictable, and they fail to do that. They fail to do that. If they did that, it would have been super predictable. But yeah, here, campy horror movie, same thing. But they don't even like play to the rules that they're doing anymore.
Yeah.
He just gets ganked out of a window and then just surprise, he's back. He's not dead somehow. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
This movie
this was just
sucks.
bad. This movie sucks. Let's stop spending time on it and just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get
Honestly.
out of here, dude. Let's get out of here. Going on to the rankings, I'm giving this movie a fucking festering 2 out of 10. Now, you may be asking why a 2, why not a 1? It's because 1 is only reserved for the most egregious, the most painful things. Like, the only thing to ever receive a 1 from me is Joyride, because that's the only movie I ever walked out of. I would have to either fall asleep or just walk out of it. Like, it's better to bite the bullet on the cash than to sit through the rest of this movie. And
Yeah.
and thank God it didn't hit that low. And it's it's not worse than Madam Web, and it's not worse than Anyone But You, but it's
Yeah.
sitting very comfortably at the third worst movie I've seen this year so far.
Yeah, I gave this movie a 2 as well. This movie was so fucking bad. The only reason why it isn't a 1 is because we were laughing our asses off through the whole fucking movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We
It
were
probably would have
laughing
been
our
a
asses
one.
at how bad it was.
Yeah, if I watched it again, like completely like not laughing at anything, because like it was funny because they just like you were not expecting them to pull shit out like he was an earth sign and they found him in the dirt. That's so absurdly fucking stupid, but it's not something that
The
you would laugh at twice.
You Died Today newspaper. Unbelievable.
It's just bad, dude.
Yeah.
Elevator opens and the fool's doing the Harlem Shake.
He's
Yeah.
hitting the Gangnam Style.
Uh,
You're up,
uh,
man.
I am also gonna give this movie a 2. It was a terrible movie, but at least it was laughably bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it was laughably bad and not just outright bad. Because at least we
Yeah.
got some kind of enjoyment out of it. And it was laughing at how bad it was.
Unlike in Madam Web.
Yes.
That's true. Oh my god, that hurt. Or Anyone But You, where I literally turned to you and I said, like, I honestly think that if someone came in and plugged in like an IV drip or like a bunch of like medical machines into me for
Yeah.
like life support, I genuinely think that that would improve my condition. That I would actually feel better if I had like needles and shit injected into my arms. Like I felt that bad sitting through that movie. So
Yeah.
at least we had something to laugh about at Tarot.
Yeah.
But let's
Uh,
move on into the next movie, Unsung Hero.
yes. Here we go. All right. Sorry about this. So, when David Smallbone's music company collapses, he moves his family from Australia to the United States to search for a brighter future. Struggling to make ends meet, the couple soon realizes the talent of their children, who go on to become two of the most successful acts in contemporary Christian music.
Yes. Now,
Now that is very broad strokes on what this movie is about, honestly.
yes, it goes a lot deeper than that. Um,
Mhm.
Uh, but this movie was an emotional roller coaster.
yes, I am man enough to admit that my eyes were wet during the whole movie. I
Oh
even turned
yes.
to you guys after the fact and I said my tear ducts hurt.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
This
Like
movie was.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, most of that was like tears of like beauty for how beautiful this story was, how beautiful this family is, like how moving their faith is, and then like actual like sad tragedy hits you, and then they turn it into something even more beautiful at the end.
Yeah. It was just all of the. It's hard to explain. Whenever we watch a movie like this,
Hmm.
it's either I can talk for hours on it, or part of you know what part of what really got me with this movie was
Hmm.
is that I'm gonna bring up a similar thing to like when we watched Iron Claw. Uh, I
I was
don't have.
Yeah.
I'm not close with my family a whole lot. I'm not very close with them. And to see a family coming together, working together like that, it was so heart-wrenching for me because I'm like I've always wondered what it would be like to be a part of a big family like that.
Yeah.
And it was just it hit me, and it was, and not on top of so many other things in this movie. There's so much in this movie that makes me super sad, and like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many moments that were super moving. You want to know, before we get into all of that, you want to know something that really surprised me what this movie was?
What's up?
There were like 3 main actors in this movie that I have not seen in anything in forever.
Elaborate.
So first off, we have okay, I guess they were major, but they were as well. Jonathan Jackson is the guy who plays Eddie DeGarmo,
Yeah.
the dude. Yeah, him. I have not seen him in anything since he was in the movie Tuck Everlasting, and he was like super young with that movie. I haven't seen him in anything since that. On top of that, there's also guy that played Jed Albright. Uh, haven't seen him. Like the only reason I've seen him in anything else was because he was in. He had a cameo reappearance in one of the latest Fast and Furious movies. Because like the only thing I've ever seen him in was Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. And so it's like it was wild to see him. And then the big one, the one that blew me away, because I realized that I recognized her like right at the tail end of the movie. The chick that plays Jed Albright's wife is DJ from Full House.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was like, she looks so familiar, and like I'm like, that's what it is. Like I realized it, and I'm like, yeah, it blew me away that I'm like, I have not seen her in anything in forever. It was
Yeah.
wild to see her in this.
There's one you missed, actually. Not
Oh,
that you would know.
who?
The Grandpa James,
Yeah. Let me look.
is John Locke from Lost, one of the most iconic characters from that show.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you know,
He's-
that is a show that I have not watched a whole lot of.
Which we have to rectify, but I'm just saying, like,
Wait, also
it's
you're
really cool to.
wrong.
Well, I'm not.
Well, I mean, you're wrong about the guy's. Are you saying his character's name was John Locke?
In the show, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were saying his name was, and I'm like, what?
Oh, he's Terry O'Quinn.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, John
Yes.
Locke from Lost.
Yes, okay.
Which is what everyone knows him as because he's John Locke.
Fair.
Right, so it's really interesting seeing all these like actors from these things come together for something like this.
It's also really cool because like 2 members of the actual family are in this movie.
Yeah.
3.
3.
3? What's the third one?
Rebecca was the flight attendant.
I knew about that one. Who's the third one between Rebecca and Joel? Who's the third one?
The doctor who delivered the baby was the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually a really cool thing. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But no, I knew Rebecca St. James was the flight attendant, and that it was actually really cool to see Joel Smallbone play his dad.
Yeah. So, bit of history behind the scenes here for us. Me and Merrick, our parents met while working at a Christian bookstore, and my dad was like the guy in charge of the music section. Like he knew every song off of every album from every band there. Like he would tell stories about like people coming in and be like, "Oh, I heard this one song on the radio. It went like da 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 da," and he'd be like, "Oh, that's right here." Like he would know. So
Yeah.
this is definitely something that my parents will enjoy because there's so many references to the Christian music community and genre. Like there's Striper, there's Eddie DeGarmo, there's Amy Grant is brought up quite a bit in this movie, and
Yes.
she's like the queen of Christian music. So I mean, it's not like a very big genre a whole lot. Like it's not super popular, like everyone's gonna know who these people are, but like if you're in that, it's super cool to see all these people and references and bands that you recognize and have heard before. And it's just so cool. I really dig that aspect of it that they went through all the music.
Yeah, that was very well done. This
A customer did was a Rebecca St. James.
Oh, was it?
So she came in and she's like, I heard this song on the radio. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I have no idea who does it. I don't know what the name of it is. I don't remember how it goes, but it's like God is in the title or it's something like that. And it was Rebecca St. James' song. That she was looking for that I found. I was like, oh, that's this album, and here it is.
Yeah. There you go. That's really cool, actually.
Oh, it's the one that's in God Shaped Hole. It's the
Oh,
one that's in Bruce Almighty.
oh, that's cool.
That was the song she was looking for, but all she gave me was it was a female artist and it has something to do with God.
Okay.
And I found
I don't know how you found it off of that, but that's really cool. Thank you. So I'm not sure if that's gonna pick up on the mic, so I'll reiterate. My dad came
did.
in, heard me, and talking about that, and he said that the song that lady, that story I was telling, was looking for was a Rebecca St. James song, and it was the one that was used in the movie Bruce Almighty. And what she had given him was, she said it was a female singer and it had something to do with God, and he found it.
Yeah. But that is impressive though. That's really impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
And that's really cool. Anyways, that like it ends up like coming back to Rebecca St. James.
coming back to this, to things I really loved about this movie. So just some rapid fire things that I like, a bunch of them, and then we can break them down however we want. The prayer and thanks wall is really cool
Oh
because when
my
they move,
God,
Yeah.
I loved that.
yeah, that was really good. The fact that the whole family pitching in and everything, like coming together and doing all this, but also at the same time still having fun, like the kids are there.
Mhm.
The what was the other one? Oh, the scene at the playground where they're all playing and everything. Like, I want to break that one down eventually. But the one aspect of this movie that hit me especially the hardest was the dad's feeling of inadequacy as a father, as a husband, things like that. Like, I know I'm not married and everything, but like, I've had
I know
those
I'm
feelings.
married. It would be surprising if you didn't know.
Yeah, I know, but like everything that I've gone through with my girlfriend over the like 6 years, I want to say now, like Because she has a daughter. She has her daughter. She has Eileen. She cut that out. Actually, sorry.
They'll do.
She has her daughter, and like I have those feelings constantly. Like, am I adequate? Am I less of a person if I'm not going to be able to provide for them and things like that? And it's it's a debilitating feeling, and they portrayed that very well in this movie.
They portrayed everything very well in this movie, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the please and thank you wall that they did.
Yes, the prayers and thank you
So,
wall.
why will please and thank you wall?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was prayers and go ahead.
No, because they were both prayers. You would pray
yeah,
to ask and then pray to thank.
Okay,
You
good point.
heathen.
Okay.
So what they did is that while they were very tight on money and very like they still hadn't had furniture in their house, they were very, very not doing very well. They made two sections on the wall. They had one labeled please, which is things that they would pray to God for, and then they had thank you, which was the prayers that have been answered. And there's a really, really beautiful scene that like really I don't know why it just super got to me and I just like exploded into tears. Luke Smallbone, one of the little kids with the glasses, he's in the grocery store with his mother and they're at the checkout line and then the price is too much and the mom says can I just go put some things back, like they don't have enough money to buy all the food that they need. So while he's writing out little cards for the please and thank you wall, he asks how to spell cheap, and the dad asks why, and he says because I want to pray for things to be cheaper, to be more cheap. And I'm like, oh, like even at that young age, they still want to help, and
Mhm.
and then they get these coupons from a coupon book. And then they're at the grocery store again, and then the price is up, and then the older brother steps in with the coupons, and then right before the little kid's eyes, the price goes down and down and down and down with the coupons, and then they can get all their food again. And then he comes home and he moves the little paper that says cheap off of the please and over to the thank you. And I just thought that that was super cute and super beautiful, and I don't know why, but that got me like really good. That got me good. I
Oh,
had heavy tears coming out of that one.
the part of the movie that the part of the movie that got me heavily crying was her the moment when she's doing her final audition of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they're showing a video, like smash cut together of all the stuff that they like have filmed, like their journey from like Australia to here and everything they've been seeing, and like the last part of the video is uh their grandpa who has passed away, uh waving goodbye to them, like he's waving goodbye to the camera on their way to them coming from Australia to the US, but they end the video with that, and it's like his dad, because he didn't get to go home and bury his dad because they were so tight on money. Like it was like his dad waving goodbye to him, and I fucking broke down.
Yeah.
That was so sad. The other scene that I wanted to talk about was the playground scene, and it's not not the them playing, although that was amazing, is the scene at the end because they're pretending they're pirates on this pirate ship themed like this like ship looking playground, which by the way were the best playgrounds ever. I don't care if it gave us splinters.
The big
Those were the
wood
best
playgrounds.
playgrounds. Yeah, those were the fucking
Yeah.
best playgrounds. You cannot find them anymore, and it angers me. I loved those things.
Well, because
But
they tore down the
anyway,
one in Menominee. Idiots.
yeah, the one right by the zoo. Yeah,
With the big
that one was freaking
face.
cool. Yeah, that one was awesome. But anyway,
Anyways.
anyway, so they're doing this whole thing, and they're like, "Oh look, there's we see people off in the distance." So they're like, "Abandoned ship," and we'll do that. It's like, okay, before we leave and we go ahead and we do this, we need to burn the ship to like, so because if we know we can go back, we will. We have to make sure that we can't go back. Like she's both talking to herself about like because her mom keeps trying to get them to come back to Australia because they're having such struggles, and like she's saying that no, we need to cut that option of going back because we're supposed to be here. We're supposed to go do this, and she's like urging her kids on to like to be brave in this time and everything like that. And like so they all like light their torches. Like they're all holding their hands in like they're holding torches and they go to throw them. And they, like when they throw them, like you can hear like the flames. Cuz it's all imaginary. Like you hear the flames of them going through the sky and like they're all standing there watching this playground, like this boat, like they're watching it go up in flames and you can see like lights dancing on their faces, like it's actually burning in front of them. And metaphorically, cinematically, that entire scene is gorgeously done and I loved every bit of it. And like I was just staring in awe at this scene. It was so good. Like I can't even properly describe exactly what was going on in that scene. It just so much of this movie just blew me away and I loved every bit of it.
Mhm.
Mo, do you have anything?
Anything else from anyone before we move on to rankings?
I Isaac said something earlier. I think it was kind of similar to like Iron Claw, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In the I brought up something. I brought up the fact that it was a thing that I had said in Iron Claw, but this movie did have a very similar feel to that.
Yeah.
More, but in the
I mean,
opposite
Okay.
it
direction
is.
that movie had.
All right, let him talk.
Yes. Yeah, because it's like a based on a true story family thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
very, very good
Yes.
movies, both of them.
Yes. Yeah. It seems to me like that these like super emotional based off of true story movies, especially surrounding like families stories, are doing super super well so far this year.
Yes.
If we keep getting more like true stories from families, because Iron Claw, Ordinary Angels, uh, Unsung Hero, like they're all super good and like
Yeah.
super emotional, and you care on like a deep, deep, like spiritual level. You care about the families in these movies, and it just hits you like extra hard. But with that being said, I think we should move on to the rankings. And I will kick us off by declaring this as my first 10 of the year. I don't think there's anything they could have done to make this movie any better. It's perfect as it is.
Yeah, I also while this is the case, this is my third 10 of the year. This is still a 10. I give this movie a 10. This movie just hit me so deep, and I loved it so much. I can't say any more about it. Just maybe it. Mo, go ahead, because I'm just gonna sit here and make noises.
Yeah, so I'm gonna also give this movie a 10. I also gave Iron Claw a 10.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both very good movies.
They are extremely good.
10 for me.
Based. All right. That should wrap us up on our new movies. So let's take a look at some returning classics very briefly before we tie this up.
Did we agree on everything?
We did. We did
did,
agree
yes.
on everything wholeheartedly.
It is a cinema regular. It is a cinema regulars first.
Yeah. All right. So, our first returning classic, we have Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Now, this one is special in my heart because there's a pretty cool phenomenon in my house. My dad is a very, very big Star Wars nerd. So it just so happens that I was born the year that Phantom Menace came out. My little sister was born the year that Episode 2 came out. Merrick was born the year that Episode 3 came out. And then my youngest brother was born the year that the Clone Wars movie came out, like the animated one. So this one is mine. Birth-wise. Some people have their birthstones. I have my birth Star Wars movie. So that's really cool. And I told you guys, Merrick, I'm sure you knew this already. Isaac, I told you before, but I just want to reiterate, as a kid, why I hated this movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I thought it was so funny. It wasn't because I thought the movie was bad like everyone else did, because I was literally like 5 the first time I saw this. Like I was a baby. Just barely able to grasp the concept of the film. It wasn't the giant scary fish. It was boring. I hated it because the first time I watched it, my dad put it in the DVD player. And then before we watched it, he went and took a shower. So I was left sitting on the couch watching the DVD menu loop over and over and over for about a good 20 to 25 minutes. And I am very... I'm a little embarrassed to say I thought that was part of the movie. I thought the movie started with 20 minutes of just the same images from the movie looping over and over again, and I never wanted to watch it. Episode 2 was my favorite because it started right away. I didn't want to watch the first one because I don't want to sit through all the 25 minutes of just looping nothing before the movie starts. I thought that was a part of the movie. So I for one am super glad that they actually cut out the 25 minutes of looping DVD menu for the theater version when we went and saw that.
I for one wanted to see that, but
That's
I
the
guess
director's cut.
Also, Episode 1 is like the only one of the prequel Star Wars that I've seen more than once.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched the Star Wars movies. And this while I never had a problem with the prequels before,
Yeah.
I can see why people didn't like this when it came out. There's a
Yeah.
lot of aspects that I remember that because see, here's the thing, it's something I realized while watching this. There's a lot of this movie that was very forgettable when I watched it the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I did not realize just how much of this
Well-
movie happens before the pod race.
Well, to be fair, a lot of this movie is politics.
Yeah,
It's just
it is.
alien interplanetary politics. There's the beginning part where they fight the battle droids is pretty cool. The giant fish part is pretty cool. The pod race is super cool, and then Duel of the Fates is mega cool. But
Right, you brought up
everything
Duel of the
outside
Fates.
of that
Go ahead.
is a little boring. So I get why people don't like this. And then Jar Jar on top of that,
Yeah.
literal cancer. But everyone knows. But I would honestly
So,
take Phantom Menace over any of the sequel movies any day.
so
true.
you brought up Duel of the Fates, which is, by the way, the coolest part of this whole movie, in my opinion. Like, the pod race
True.
comes in at a close second, but that is the coolest part of this movie. Made even cooler by the fact that I am legally obligated to say every time it comes up. My favorite part about the Duel of the Fates, because Ewan McGregor said this in an interview about it. The choreography that they did for the lightsaber fight, they got so tight. They were able to do it so well and so fast. Normally in an action scene, especially an action scene where you're doing like sword play and things like that, they would do it slower and they would overclock the camera so that way it looks faster when they play it back. They got so fast at doing that choreography for the lightsaber fight that they had to underclock the camera because they did it so fast they didn't think it would be believable if they played it at regular speed. like it wouldn't look like they did it at a proper speed. Like,
Right.
that is so
Dude.
cool to see that they took that time to, like, they got that good at it.
Yeah. Dude, the guy that plays Darth Maul, Ray Park, is super fucking talented, and I want to see him in more stuff. Because he's Darth Maul, he's Toad from the X-Men movies, and then he's Snake Eyes in the G.I. Joe movies from, like, 2009. And, like, that's, like, a really, really good lineup of credits there. Like, I wish
Yeah.
he was, like, in more stuff. You brought up the cool fact about the lightsaber battle. I want to bring up the funny fact that they had to have two separate guys play Darth Maul. They had Ray Park for like the body, and then they had
Yeah.
to dub his voice over with somebody else, because his accent was like too violently Australian to fit for Darth Maul's character.
Nice. That's
Space
really funny.
Australian.
Yeah.
It's Australian.
I mean, it's the Phantom Menace. What more can you say that hasn't been said already?
Exactly.
So I'd
They have
suggest
Jar
let's
Jar
move on.
Binks in that movie, and Australian Darth Maul is too much.
Yeah.
It's true. That's true. That's true. All right, everyone, let's give it our silly rankings. Merrick, you go first. I decided.
I'm gonna give it 2 lightsabers.
Whoa, Isaac.
I'm going to give this movie I think I'm gonna give this movie one dead Gungan. You know, the one that needs to be dead.
Okay, I don't know where I'm gonna find a picture of that, but okay.
I mean, you could just make Jar Jar dead.
You want me to
Please, for the
Photoshop Jar Jar
I want you
Binks
to
to be
oh,
dead?
I'm sure someone's done it already.
No, Kellan, you
You
have to
probably don't have
draw
to
it
look.
yourself.
You don't have
You
to
want
look
me to
very
draw
hard.
it myself?
Draw dead Jar Jar yourself and put it
You
in. That
want me
would
to
be so
draw
funny.
dead Jar Jar? Okay,
That would be
fine.
really
Keeping in
funny.
mind Keeping in mind that I only bought my drawing tablet a while ago, and I'm not great at it yet. Fine, I'll draw Jed Jar Jar for this. God, this is the most like outside work I would ever put into these silly rankings.
It's really stupid, and
Crazy.
I apologize, but it's
I'm
funny.
gonna give this one naked C3PO. Bro's
All right.
wires hanging out.
Yeah.
Right. Next up, we got the Amazing Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield one. Merrick, you
Yeah,
love Spider-Man,
Resident Spider-Man
it's
expert.
true.
and you like the Andrew Garfield ones.
I do.
Why?
Huh?
Huh? Tell us why. Tell us why you like the Andrew Garfield ones more than the other ones. Give your opinion.
All right. So,
Now.
all right. Um, actually, the Andrew Garfield ones were the ones that I remembered the most. Specifically, the second one with the blue Electro.
Okay.
From when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones I had remembered watching the most. For some reason, even though like the only one we got to watch was the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3, but
What do you mean got to watch?
that's the only one Mom likes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Got to watch because mom would just be like, "Ugh, we're not watching that." She
Yeah,
likes Spider-Man
exactly.
3. She likes Sandman.
Yeah, yeah, because she likes Sandman.
She's like, "I like the Sandman."
Hey, Sandman's
Yeah,
like a solid
It's true.
Spider-Man villain. I really like him.
He is, but he's not an amazing
No, he is
Garfield
not.
man.
No, he is
yeah, he's
not.
not a.
Because we got the lizard.
Yeah,
Liza.
I like that he does like spider stuff.
Yeah.
He does do spider stuff. Like the one bit where he's wrapping him up in the webs and he like crawls over his chest like a spider. I like that.
Yeah, he crawls around like a spider and wraps the lizard up in a web. And when he's in the sewer and he makes the web thing and he feels the vibrations to tell where things are,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
think
I
was
that's
thought
really
I
really
thought
cool.
awesome.
I thought like they really leaned into like the spider aspect of Spider-Man in this movie more than they did in the other ones.
They also had a lot
Definitely.
more spiders giving him like ideas. Like the part where he's like kind
Yeah.
of climbing around and then he sees the spider like swinging on the web and like he immediately like is like ooh and he grabs the chains and he starts swinging and that gives him the idea to make his web shooters,
Mm.
which is
Yeah.
another thing. This was the first thing. This is one thing I love about the Amazing Spider-Man movies is that it was the first time you saw him. He makes his own web shooters.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That is my favorite part of this like you see him making his own web shooters, and that was so cool. I loved it so much, and it's kind of funny because the only one they did like little bits of each one, and the only one that got all of the bits right, it was Tom Holland's, but we never got to see the origin of that. Because
They were
like
probably
Yeah.
better off without it, to be honest.
true, but my biggest gripe, my biggest gripe with that sequence is that Peter's supposed to come up with his web fluid himself, and he doesn't. He
Yeah.
just orders it from Oscorp.
He said he developed it himself, so he got like he made the shooters himself. He
Yeah,
said to the guy, he said it's a special web fluid. I designed it myself. He literally lies to
like,
the carjacker.
yeah, it's like we saw it. Which, by the
Bro.
way, my favorite scene in the whole one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie is the part where the dude gets in the car and he's already sitting in the back seat. Like it's so funny. He's just
Yeah, you are the only one who thought that was extremely funny.
Oh
oh
my
yeah,
god. Oh my god. Okay, we're moving out of the movie itself and finally
yeah,
onto the thing Merrick's been dying to talk about. Our actual experience watching this movie.
yeah.
Actually, quickly before we get into that, I have a
Okay.
controversial opinion.
Okay.
I
Ooh.
I prefer the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit over the second one.
You're correct, sir.
Oh.
That is a
A
correct
lot of
opinion.
Why
a
is
lot of
that?
people prefer the second one because the eyes on the first one are weird. I
No,
like
I
the
like.
eyes on the first one.
I love it because it looks like
Black
he made it
sunglasses
himself.
eyes.
Like it's cool.
The rest of the costume doesn't look like that though.
True. But
Okay,
I like the
anyways,
Yeah,
orange
but you
eyes.
get to watch him pop the sunglasses lenses out.
Yeah.
true, I guess.
I
Uh
I really like the TASM 1 suit.
the
Yeah.
TASM.
Chasm.
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man. But
Yep.
onto our experience.
Merrick, you got really mad in this
I
theater.
did. I got very annoyed with the people sitting next to us.
Why,
Next
More
to me
Merrick?
specifically. I was at the end.
yeah, specifically next to you.
Yeah, I was, because that theater was like full, so I had to
Yeah.
sit next to someone
Mhm.
other than um
Us.
you guys,
Yeah,
because Kellan,
unfortunately.
you were on one side. On the other side were these people.
Yeah.
Um, the guy sitting directly next to me was laughing at the movie, like at absolutely nothing.
He was laughing at all the parts that weren't jokes.
Yeah, like the Peter jumps off the roof of the building. He goes, like,
The one I
what are you?
remember being really loud is like when after he builds the suit and you got the POV shot of him running and then he lands on sticks to the side of the window and then you see the suit in the reflection and he just laughs at that and I'm like what
Yeah,
he laughed really loud at that.
and he saves the kid from falling off the bridge, and the dad asks, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Spider-Man." And he laughs at that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
stupid.
bro went and I'm like what is your
Like,
problem?
I don't understand. He'd laugh at. I mean, I get some of the stuff
Yeah, like he
because
was
some of the
laughing at
stuff was
like
actual jokes.
The
he
stuff you're
was
supposed
He
to
laughing
was
at
laugh at.
he was laughing at like every interaction he had with Gwen when it was like ah ha
Yeah.
ha low awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was also laughing when nobody was saying anything.
And then there's the most egregious of all of them that we fucking made fun of for the next 5 to 10
Oh my
minutes.
god.
When the credits start rolling, the first thing that comes up is what? It's something Webb. It was
Mark
like
Webb.
executive.
Directed by
Directed by
Mark
Mark.
Webb.
Yeah, directed by Mark Webb, and the dude goes like he
He
laughed
wasn't the
so
only
loud.
one. There was like a
Yeah.
there was like a girl like 2 rows behind us who I assure you was blonde, and she just went
Yeah.
like laughing like so crazy at that. I'm like, bro,
Like, oh my gosh.
The extremely funny credits, I guess.
Yeah, I
But
guess. It said
I
Webb and it's
guess.
Spider-Man. Webb.
it doesn't.
Dude, that would
That
kill at a
was
comedy club. I'm telling you.
so
Just put Mark directed by Mark Webb up on screen, and then you got him.
true.
You'll
No,
get
but
your
I
own
was, I
Netflix
was,
special
I
if you
was,
do that. Actually,
I was so annoyed because he was like laughing at absolutely nothing. I turned to Kellan. I'm like, "What is he even laughing about? Nothing
no,
happened."
you would turn to me. You would turn to me. You would like throw up your arms like out in front of you, like so like upset, and you would turn to me and you would go ha 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 ha. Dude,
Yeah.
He, but I apparently I missed some jokes.
Yeah. I have to
you
say
got
though,
like so like you got like like if it's a thing, you got like aggressively passive aggressive.
Yeah,
I
I don't
have to
even know how
say,
you did that.
unbelievable.
I still had fun going to go see this movie.
You weren't
Like,
sitting where I was.
I offered you to sit next to me because there was still a spot next to me.
That's true. At one point, he starts clicking the button on the seat
Yeah.
Oh my god.
because the seats recline with the buttons, and he was
Mhm.
clicking the button that it wasn't doing anything because the seat was already fully reclined.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just clicking
clicking
the
it just
button.
to
It was
click
like,
it.
yeah. So I just start clicking it back. I start clicking mine just to annoy him.
Nice.
It's like click click click. I'm like click 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 click,
And then he stopped.
and then he stopped.
Yeah.
You win. W.
I won, except he
You did
kept
win.
laughing.
You should have laughed at him.
I should have
You
laughed.
should
I
have.
should have went
You
over.
should
I
have.
should have leaned over. I said, "Can you please explain the joke to me? I seem
Say
to
I
not
don't get it.
understand what it was.
And
I
then
don't
he had
get
to
it.
explain that
Explain it.
nothing was funny. And
Explain the joke to me."
it wasn't like his friend was like leaning over and like whispering a joke to him, like we do sometimes, because like
Yeah.
A, we don't laugh that loud at whatever it is, and B,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you were sitting right next to him. He wasn't like talking to his
he
friend at
wasn't.
all.
He wasn't. They were just watching the movie and he laughed at absolutely nothing.
Crazy, insane, even.
Yeah.
All right, I
It'd be
all right.
really
I
funny
think
if you
we.
watched cinema regulars.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
That would be
Uh,
very funny.
yeah. Uh, I give this movie 2 laughing audience members.
True.
I give this movie a pair of orange sunglasses.
Are they orange?
Yeah. Like the
I don't
lenses were
believe you.
orange.
I don't believe you.
Am I wrong, Mo?
They're black, aren't they? They're literally black. It's the same ones as when he had the homemade mask.
I thought they were orange lenses.
Mine are orange.
Am I wrong? Well, maybe they are. I apologize.
They're black. Oh my god. I found
Uh,
something really funny. Anyways.
all right. I'm gonna give this movie one
Oh no,
room
no,
full
hold
of
on, hold on,
spiders.
hold on. Well, one room full of
What's
spiders.
up?
Okay, Isaac has to redo his rankings since his first
Yeah,
one wasn't real.
yeah, I guess. I will go with
Fake ranking.
I know what I have to go with. I give this movie one Dr. Kurt Cockings.
You what?
There's a
You what?
there's a moment when he's typing in Dr. Curtis Connors, and in the autocomplete it says Dr. Kurt Cockings.
How am I even supposed to get that?
Fine. I give this movie one detached lizard tail. That better? That better for you?
No, you know what? You don't get one. You don't get one this time. You've lost your privilege. Wow, that was a lot. You guys don't know this, but we've been recording for over 2 hours already. This is gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Next.
I set the light down here to turn off in an hour, and it already did like an hour ago.
That's true. Isaac, next time, what are we looking at?
Next time, guaranteed, just in case maybe we find some other stuff along the way. We will be looking at the movie If, uh, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes,
You are
and The
coming?
Strange. I am coming to that, yes.
Nice.
And The Strangers, Chapter 1.
Hell yes. I'm super excited. I'm one of like the only 3 people on the world who actually really, really likes the Strangers movies, and I was fucking excited that they're making a third one, and it's a prequel to everything else. And Isaac, in addition, if we go next week at some point, we can also grab The Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Could.
hopefully with a lot less laughter.
I would like to go see that too. That
I
could be fun.
hope so.
There's there's also one that I just realized because I won't be able to catch the first one, but there is a chance Marcus is doing 2 more mystery movies.
Is that so?
And yeah, on a Monday. They have one on the 13th and the 20th. I might still have that Monday, the 20th off. So we could maybe
Interesting.
catch that. That could be fun. They're doing one the 13th and the 20th. So
Nice. So
that could
we
be fun.
will get back to you guys to see if we end up doing those and what they happen to be.
Mhm.
So I guess that wraps it up here, you guys. So be sure to subscribe because it keeps us going back to the theaters and it keeps these videos coming out. Leave us a like so it gives us more eyes on our videos and it's suggested throughout the algorithm here on YouTube. Check out our letterboxd at Cinema Kellan, Regular Isaac, and Other Cheese, respectively. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap. Roll credits.